All right, we're about to get started here. Welcome in. Glad to have some people popping in here and saying what's up. What's up to you guys? We're gonna get started here just a second. I'm just making sure that I have what I need to get this podcast going. And first off, I want to give a big shout out to Bergranta for kind of giving me the idea to do this. A little conversation on X that he tagged me in, and so just maybe just figure like a lot of people kind of need this information. I mean, there are a lot of tech channels out there, well, crypto channels more, that explain this, and so I figured, what, on the tech side, someone's got to bring this information to the tech side. So if you guys saw in the chat, there are a bunch of links. These links are reading material for people to kind of understand how all of this works, okay? Secondly, I will make this claim right now. I am not a crypto guru. I am not, like fully versed in the world of cryptocurrency. I am not a financial advisor. So to literally, ask me if you should invest in HNT or if you should, do this or do that, I am not going to answer those types of comments because I am not a financial advisor at all whatsoever. To be quite honest with everybody, I just like the Helium Mobile service. I like what it offers, and it's got me into learning more and more and more about this whole thing of a crypto-based phone service. Yeah, Bergranta is pretty awesome. He's catching a little backlash though from his post on X. So yeah, anyways, but I gotta give him the shout out because of what he's been going through with Helium Mobile and how he feels like it's a scam and all kinds of stuff. I figured I would lay out some facts that people need to understand about Helium Mobile and how all of it works, more specifically towards the mobile rewards and stuff like that. I think that's a very good place to start. So I do have something pulled up where I figured that you can get all this information from. I'll put this single link in the chat also as well, but some of the other stuff that you will get from this site itself for information, I've already linked it just above. So anyways, here is the link to the page I'm going to be sharing here in a second. We'll go over all of this so everyone can pretty much understand. Before I get started though, smashing that like button really helps. So if you could do me that solid, I would definitely appreciate that. And then, if you are interested in trying out Helium Mobile, especially after what I'm going to be discussing today, then you guys can scan my QR code right there. That will get you guys your first month for free to try them out. So a little backstory: Helium Mobile, first crypto-based phone service. Okay, that's their lane. That's where they're in, and it is starting to catch like, I don't want to say wildfire, but it's starting to catch with a lot of people that's starting to hear more and more about Helium Mobile. I can say right now, with the code over here that I've been offering to everybody, 608 people have used it, signed up, and out of that 608, 598 have stayed as customers. So my conversion of people using it and people staying after 30 days is actually pretty good. So I'm happy to see that people are enjoying the services and what they're getting out of it. Helium Mobile, at first I thought it was a scam, right? You can look back at some of my older live streams where I first heard about Helium Mobile, and I initially thought it was a scam only because of how they were pitching the idea of peer-to-peer network sharing. So that's what the Helium network is built on. It's built on the mobile hotspots that you can buy. Well, mobile hotspots, but just the hotspots you can buy, either indoor or outdoor hotspots that you can buy, set up, and deploy service for other Helium Mobile customers to connect to offload data usage from the MNO companies. So T-Mobile is the main provider for Helium Mobile customers to connect to cellular and data connections. But if you live in a city like I do, I live in the city of Phoenix, there's a lot of outdoor and indoor hotspots deployed. And not just from the hotspots you can purchase from Helium Mobile, but people have gone out to build their own CBRS and deploy that signal. So you can use third-party devices to transmit the Helium network for Helium Mobile customers to connect to. And that's the peer-to-peer network sharing. Now, for those who are concerned about that, and they're like, oh, well, if you connect to my hotspot, you might connect to all my IoTs in my house. Because the way the hotspots are deployed, whether indoor or outdoor, is you need an internet router. You are going to connect an Ethernet line from your router, from your internet router to the device, whether it's an outdoor hotspot or indoor hotspot. You will connect an Ethernet line to it, which will provide the data. However, it is on a separated channel. If you watched my video on how to claim weekly rewards and to set up the dynamic coverage installs certificates on your device, allowing you to connect to that device, that hotspot device, to be connected to the Helium network and not onto T-Mobile's network. So it is secure. No one's tapping into your Wi-Fi and spreading through your IoTs. They're not wall crawling through that. Reddit says there is some app issues here and there, but usually they're always on top of it. Just got to make sure your app is updated and watch for updates. I love my Helium Mobile line. Never really have issues. Awesome. Glad that it's been working out great for you. I haven't had issues at all, that are that detrimental. I've had issues where you try to do a weekly free claim and the claim just like glitches. So it says that you've already used your free claim, but it didn't transfer your rewards into your Helium wallet. That's happened to me. It's happened to Bergranta, who inspired today's discussion. Only he's a little bit more upset about it and has been very vocal about it. So hopefully, brand loyalty is not a thing that I pitch. So I'm not going to be upset with him because he did use my promo code to sign up for Helium Mobile. He is thinking about porting out because he's upset that he didn't get his free claim, and that if he wanted to claim right now instead of waiting the 7 days for the next claim, he has to purchase Sol and use Sol or Solana to pay that fee to transfer to the wallet. Hey, it's totally fine, but we'll get into that a little bit later after you guys get some insight as to like how all this is working out. So anyways, back to the hotspots and everything, right? So it's not wall crawling through anyone's internet. It's not connecting to their IoTs. So you're golden on that. And this is working out to the point where other MNOs like Verizon is beta testing offloading some of their customers' usages onto these hotspots that are available in the city. So that's still currently in beta test right now. This is why Helium has been really kind of focused on touting about data offloads, because that's the whole point about it. It frees up network congestion, especially on T-Mobile, because you're not connected to T-Mobile when you're within the vicinity of being near one of the hotspots. There are so much lucrative things that you could do, and I will discuss those in this podcast as to how you can make Helium Mobile become passive income for you. That will be expressed. But before we get into all of that, we have to understand Helium Mobile as a whole, like entirely. So I'm going to try to share the screen without it glitching out my live stream. But if it does, it does. Lately, T-Mobile has been on a downward spiral. Yeah, Brandon, I know you were tagged in one. I read that. I know that there's a little bit of a backlash he's getting. I think from Speed Tech YT made an interesting response, but I'm gonna address that same thing. So I figured, I would go through all of this, right? So right here, like I said, I put, it's in the description if you guys want the links to these things, but I also put it in the chat too. But we're gonna take a look at it, right? So first, on the very top, we see that HIP 51 has been approved by the community. Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later. The new wireless economy. And the Helium network utilizes a burn and mint equilibrium model, which is accomplished through multiple tokens. HNT is burned out of circulation in order to use the network. Data credits are created through the burning of HNT and have a fixed US dollar value. Okay. Currently, right now, if anybody wants to know, Let me open this real quick. No, like that is really bad. My microphone stopped. Someone let me know if you guys can hear me because it literally just told me that the microphone connection crashed. I'm probably gonna wipe my PC and just kind of restall everything in or whatever because it's just been acting so buggy lately. Yeah, I know there's a lot of lag. There's like my PC is really bad right now. Plus, there's an update sitting to wait, but I didn't update it just yet. So, well, no, it's not the site. It's not the site that's causing it. My PC is like overloaded with a bunch of things. It really, really is. So, you know, it's just been super laggy, and I haven't gotten to it. But anyways, right now, you know, the HNT sitting at a value of $5.88. It was at $5.95 about an hour ago. So yeah, it fluctuates up and down in value. So let me get some of these opened up here ahead. I'd rather take the hit with lag right now than later. So let me let those things load real fast. Oh my God. All right, well, we'll start off with the Helium Mobile Network token. We'll kind of just get into that. Let's see. So if you guys want to know what HNT stands for, it just stands for Helium Mobile Network Token. Okay. So mobile is a protocol token of the Helium Mobile Network. Mobile was introduced to the Helium network through the community proposal of HIP 53 and is further defined in subsequent HIPs. The mobile token is mined by 5G CBRS and Wi-Fi hotspots through both data transfer speeds as well as proof of coverage or POC. And then the minted address for mobile, they give it to you right here on the Solana blockchain. You can navigate to explorer.helium.com/stats for up-to-date information on network tokens. So, redemption of HNT. Protocol tokens like mobile will always be backed by HNT and will convert to HNT. To enable this, each network within the Helium network is allocated to a pool of HNT based on the network utility score. The redemption ratio is set algorithmically by the treasury swap contacts based on the network utility score. The Helium wallet app serves as the primary platform for exchanging mobile to HNT. This transaction can also be performed directly through Solana blockchain using the open source tooling found in the Helium GitHub repository. Okay. Token allocation basically just goes over mobile follows a similar mint schedule to HNT. However, at a max supply of 230 billion, 50 billion mobile were pre-mined at the launch of mobile network and distributed to the Network Operations Fund administered by the Helium Foundation. A fraction of this allocation was distributed throughout the Genesis period to live mobile network hotspots. Year one of mobile started on August 1st, 2022, with the first tokens minted on August 12th, 2022. The issuance is scheduled to having halvings every 2 years, aligning with HNT issuance halvings. The emission schedule was created in HIP 53, updated in HIP 75, confirmed in HIP 77, and updated in HIP 79. It also follows, and you have the chart here, basically just talking about it. Year one was 50 billion. Mobile minted in year one was 110 billion. So proof of coverage is at 20%. Hotspot data is at 40%. Mappers was at 20%. Service providers 10%. Oracles 4%. And then the VHNT stakers at 6%. Okay, so this kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. I know this might be just a little bit odd for people, and that's totally okay. You can read a lot of this and even, click the hyperlinks to get more and more info. But this is based on mobile, and you'll see this icon in the Helium mobile app. So this is the HNT, the Helium Network Token. Okay. Just for people to, get an idea of it, I'll read it out. The Helium Network Token is a native cryptocurrency and protocol token of Helium Network. The original Helium blockchain produced the first HNT on July 29th, 2019 on block 93. There was no pre-mine of HNT before the launch of the network, and the Helium network migrated to the Solana blockchain on April 18th, 2023. These are the addresses, and then, of course, the article stats for up-to-date information. HNT usage. All right, so the Helium network token serves the needs of two primary parties in the Helium ecosystem. Hotspot hosts and operators. Hosts are rewarded in the network tokens like IoT or mobile while deploying and maintaining network coverage. These network tokens are redeemable for HNT. All right, so now you know what IoT is. Now you know what mobile is, sort of, right? Enterprise and developers use the Helium network to connect devices and build IoT applications. Data credits, which are a US dollar pegged utility token derived from HNT, are used to pay transaction fees for wireless data transmissions on the network. Let me know if it seems foreign to you guys, because it's a little foreign to me, right? Like I said, I'm no guru. I'm learning this stuff, and this is where I'm gathering my information to understand more of this. Right, let's go on this real quick. So when you mix a sort of crypto investment with a consumer-facing product, it makes things really tense, and some customers are trying to offer consumer criticisms. Yeah, there are people that's gonna give criticisms on that, and that's totally okay. I guess what I'm doing here is, like I said, I don't know if you caught the beginning of the podcast, but like I said, like this podcast was inspired by Bragranta, who usually watches my live streams but hasn't been on here lately. I don't know. It is what it is. But anyways, on X, he posted about Helium being a scam. So I figured I would just clear up as much information as possible, because to call something a scam is not really a criticism. Call something a scam is a bold statement. Okay, and I can assure people that Helium is not scamming anybody. And I'll explain what his whole thing was all about. Whatever he talked about with scams and whatnot. I'll explain all that. You'll see that on the subreddit for Helium sometimes. If someone is trying to make a criticism of the company as a consumer, they don't have the same interest as the ones thinking of it as an investment. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are two types. There are two things that can literally be laid out when it comes to Helium Mobile. You can just sign up for it. You can pay $20 a month and just use it as a regular phone service. You don't have to dabble in all of the things that Helium is offering as far as the crypto side. And I think that's where like some people that are like really pushing on the whole crypto scene really need to kind of understand that. They got to understand that some people just don't care. But the fact that it's $20 a month for unlimited talk, text, and 30 gigabytes of high-speed data before throttle, that's $5 less than what Boost Mobile's offering. That's, like $10 less than what other MVNOs are offering. That's $30 less than what Google Fi is offering. So people go for it for the pricing. That's totally fine. You don't have to turn on mapping. You don't have to do all the crypto stuff. You know what I mean? But one thing I do want to do is help those people who don't mess with the crypto side because they don't know anything about it, to, I guess, get them interested, because I don't want them to lose out on what they could use for passive income, which I'm gonna explain later on towards the end of the podcast. But I'm just going over some of the literature so some people kind of get an idea. Like, yes, this stuff could be, a bit intimidating. It can. It still is intimidating for me, which is why that I don't go in and talk about should you trade, should you do this, or any financial advice. I don't do that because I'm still learning more and more and more about this, right? So, but as I am using Helium Mobile service and I'm trying out all the different things that is involved with this, I'm like, you have an opportunity to make passive income. And in today's market, we need that. If you could do just the basic foundations, right? And I call this the basic foundations because, I'm not a day trader on all this stuff. But I would say this. If you turned on mapping and like set it and forget it type of thing and did 6 months of mapping without using your earned rewards to pay your phone bill or any of that stuff, or buy hotspots or buy a pixel from them or anything like that, you just collected all that rewards in 6 months time, and then you transferred it to your wallet. Okay, you transferred it to your Helium wallet. Now you can transfer it to your own personal crypto wallet if you want to, right? Of course, that's going to cost some soul. You're going to have to use, it's like, 20 to like 25 cents or less, maybe 19 cents, depending. But you would just literally use that little bit of soul to transfer it to your wallet. But then from your wallet, you could actually convert it, right? There are different crypto wallets that allows you to convert it. And the reason I'm saying that is because when people get the basic fundamentals of how to, mine crypto, earn it, transfer it, convert it, they can make passive income on this. I know you guys probably haven't seen him in a while on the channel, but Chanel 808 Hawaii Life is also on Helium Mobile, also talks to me about it every now and then. He doesn't use any of his earned rewards to pay his phone bill or anything like that. He is collecting on it. And I guess he's waiting for the right time where the value of the HNT is much higher and he's going to more than likely cash out. And it's totally possible. Like I said, right now, today, the value of the HNT is at $5.88 currently at this time. That could go up in the next coming days because I'm seeing a rise in its value. About 4 months ago, it was valued at $6.90. So like I said, its value fluctuates. So if you cash out at the right time, you can have some extra money in your pocket to do something, right? What is $20 a month or whatever for the T-Mobile coverage you get, even if you don't do any of the other stuff? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people will just sign up just to have that. And I explain things to try, because like I said, I'm not a crypto guru. So if I'm picking up on this, anybody else can pick up on this, and all that rewards being earned for mapping, they don't have to miss out on. Now I know there's other like deep hardcore Helium Mobile customers who are heavy into crypto that probably won't like me for doing this, because they want those people who are not really crypto geniuses to not jump in on it, because it leaves more in the pot for everybody else, right? The rewards fluctuates based on your location, where you are. Like here where I'm at in my city, last month, the crypto I was earning every week was about 678 to 700 plus in the rewards. Okay, that's not in cash, that's in the reward value. Not a week, that was daily. Sorry, it's daily. Actually, I could just show you guys. Let me pull it up. But I can tell what I was earning before and where it currently is at right now. Over these past couple of days, daily, it's just been like 500 plus. So like I'm on, there we go. Okay, so oh wait, no, it's higher. It's not. Wait, no, I'm in the wrong spot. Gotta go to mapping and then Okay. So yesterday, just for mapping, I've earned 567.505218. Okay, day before that. So I'm not gonna go into after the decimal. I'm just gonna go straight off. 567 for yesterday, 572 for the 12th, 589 for the 11th, 625 on November 10th, 596 for the 9th. So like it's been around 500s, upper 500s. I've been earning daily. It's been in the 600s, mid 600s in October, and in September it was in the 700s. It was quite a bit that I was earning daily, right? So it just depends on your location. Like my location sucks for now. Mine a day is usually 400 to 450. That's not bad. That's not bad because I've seen other people post on social media what they've earned from mapping a day. I've seen some people earn 300 and less. So if you're earning 400 to 450, that's not bad. See, the mapping thing is like totally different. You know, I'll leave, the links are in the description. You guys can read all this stuff on your own leisure. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. Let me just put it to you like this. I always thought that Helium was mapping for places that didn't have the Helium network coverage to know where they needed to strengthen their stuff. But that is like the very minor thing of mapping when it comes to Helium Mobile. The major thing of Helium Mobile and its mapping has to do with the fact of proof of coverage. So if there's like a hotspot deployed down the road and I'm connected to it, then, I'm doing my part in the mapping because I am mapping back to Helium to let them know that that hotspot is still active and people are still able to connect and it's still earning rewards on it. So they should be good. And that's the true point of the mapping on Helium. It's not only to see where there's no Helium network coverage, it's more to know where the coverage is and how is it being effective. Because like I said in that article, you can buy the Helium mobile hotspot. Not mobile hotspot, the Helium hotspot. Sorry, it's not a mobile hotspot. The Helium hotspot, the indoor outdoor hotspot, you can buy those from Helium and deploy those. But if you want to build your own CBRS rig, you can do that yourself. And yes, you still earn off of the connections that you make with Helium mobile customers connecting to your CBRS build. You do earn on it, and the earnings is a little bit different. So that's the reason that the mapping is there. That's why, I always say that never really depend on mapping to be around forever. But when I say that, I'm not telling people that it's going to be gone next year. It's not going away anytime soon because they're going to continuously keep wanting to map the network connection for the Helium network. And the Helium network is where a lot of data is offloaded. So I almost spilled coffee on me. On a side note, who's here watching, type a hand emoji if you drink your coffee black, no sugar, no cream. I get flavored coffee. So like this one, the coffee roast that's grounded is of like Dunkin' Donuts glazed donut flavor. So I can taste that. My kids tried it this morning and they freaked out. They took a sip because they're always talking about wanting to drink coffee. So I let them have that one sip and they tasted how bitter it was and they freaked. I know it's bitter, but I can taste the little notes of the Dunkin' Donuts thing. But that's just a little side note thing. Anyways. So, more on the Helium mobile things, and like I said, and I dropped a video about it. I talked about it. I keep explaining it. I keep sharing it. It's just because I feel like that this is something that, even if you don't make Helium Mobile your main service provider, you can have Helium Mobile as a backup, as a burner phone. You could use it in tablets. You don't really have to use it in a phone. Like I've put my Helium Mobile SIM Let me grab it real quick and I'll show you. But I've put it, in my iPad. I put it in here and use it. It's just fine. So you can even use it for just data only if you want. You can use it for phone service. You don't need to have a special plan to put it in a tablet. Yeah, it just works. It just works out good. So there are a lot of things you can do. I'm sorry if I paused for a second. I started to hear a glitch happening. So, anyways, but yeah, there are so many things that you can do with Helium Mobile, and I think that's one of the things that really has me gravitating, wanting to partner with them, wanting to, get more and more people to discover them, try them out. Like, I don't expect people to stay with Helium Mobile, but I do allow people to try them out with my promo code to give them a month free. Referral codes can get you guys a $10 credit. So if you're already a Helium Mobile customer, you have a referral code, you could use that. You can get $10 credit just for a referral that you bring over to Helium Mobile. With my partnership with Helium Mobile, my referral gets people a month free to try them out, which I think is a great way for you guys to try them out and not have to spend out of pocket. Has it been perfect? No. I've had like 2 or 3 people tell me that it accidentally did charge them the $20, but they had to go through and get the refund back. And that's one of the things with Helium Mobile. Their customer service reps are really good at, getting on it and getting things fixed. So I give them a lot of praise for that. 1 second. When you have to sneeze, and I wasn't going to try and like sneeze into the camera or anything like that, but yeah, so I do that, and then I try to walk people through, like with the mapping, like how I make my services for free. Unlike, Chanel 808 or Lawrence, as you guys know him as, Lawrence collects it, converts it, cashes out. I collect it, I use it to pay my phone bill, so I don't got to worry about a phone bill. It's one less bill that I got to worry about amongst all the other things that I got to pay in life, like car insurance, car payment, electricity, rent, all that other stuff, food. And then, of course, the things that my kids need for school. So, having phone service without a phone bill works out for me. And there might be other people in the same boat as I'm in and can take advantage of that. That's why I share these things. That's why I make these videos and I share it. I talk about it. People are just like, yo, if you're with Helium Mobile, why do you have other providers? Because I talk about other providers on my channel, and I'm that person that, you kicked myself in the ass when I used to talk about something that I didn't have. So now I'm on that standard where it's like, I will talk about Google Fi because I'm using Google Fi. I'll talk about Boost Mobile because I am using Boost Mobile. I will talk about Helium because I'm using Helium. Like, I use these services, so I have a ground to talk about. And, on the subject that Boost should buy Helium and they would take advantage of the hotspots that Helium has, that's a big no-no. I would not want Boost to take Helium over. Sure as hell wouldn't want Boost in control of what Helium does. Boost Mobile is not about the crypto scene. They're not about it. I mean, they tried with Boost coins. They tried to make it to where, you spin the wheel, you get Boost coins. You watch a video from the Boost One app, you earn Boost coins. They wanted Boost coins, I guess, to be considered, an actual crypto with monetary value to it. It just didn't work out for them. And you're talking about a company that specializes in satellite TV and, and as a mobile service network operator. Okay. Crypto's not their thing. It's a little bit on the flip side when it comes to Helium. The people that came together to create Helium obviously have a vested interest in cryptocurrency, and they have this going, but they also know that, like, if they only primarily focused on crypto, that people are not really going to want to try them out. which is the reason why that their pricing is competitive. The pricing is competitive because with the actual members of Helium Mobile who are crypto eccentric, they deploy the hotspots and stuff like that because they wanna earn passive income. And because of them doing that, they have built out a peer-to-peer network sharing in cities across the United States, which allows people like myself to come across those and connect to those for my data rather than T-Mobile's network, which means that Helium Mobile customers are not sapping up a lot of the resources that the T-Mobile network towers are transmitting. I can tell you guys that in my neighborhood and in my area that I live at, there's a lot of outdoor hotspots and a boatload ton of indoor hotspots. There's people here that make a business out of it, which now I'm going to explain to you guys how they make this business. This is an idea that I'm going to be doing, and I learned this from another person who lives here that deploys Helium network hotspots. He's got one outdoor hotspot built at his house. He's got an indoor hotspot inside his house. So him and his whole family, they all have Helium Mobile phone lines. So they're all connected to this indoor and outdoor hotspot at his house. So he is making money on his own connection to it. Here's where it gets really interesting. He's gone out to local businesses in Chandler and Mesa, Arizona. And he's talked to some businesses, some mom and pop stores, some restaurants. And he has brokered a deal with them where he agrees in a business contract to pay their monthly Wi-Fi bill. Reason why is because with the monthly Wi-Fi bill being paid by him, allows him to connect a indoor mobile hotspot to their Wi-Fi router in their shop. So when customers walk in that have Helium Mobile, they are connected to his indoor hotspot rather than the T-Mobile network when they're at said place of business. He goes around doing this. Average bill that he's paying internet for these companies is like $50 to $100. He showed me what his average yield is monthly. And I could tell you guys that he can afford to pay those internet bills plus 10 times more. He makes a lot of money. But he's very smart about it. He picks his spots where he sets up an indoor hotspot. He just doesn't do it at any business. But he does it using data that he researches online to see where there are Helium Mobile customers at, where there's a need for hotspots at for Helium Mobile customers. Again, that's what the mapping kind of goes to, right? It kind of shows areas where there are Helium Mobile customers and not any hotspot devices deployed for connection. And he uses that data to help him find places, and then he approaches those businesses to create a deal with them to allow his indoor hotspot to be plugged into their internet router. And then he makes money. That is something that you could do for passive income. I have seen people on YouTube who talk about Helium, hotspots and their builds and how they do things, how they set up the hotspots. And, there's a guy who literally treats it as a business, has business contracts for a length of time. So he has 6-month contracts and 1-year contracts. And, they do a contract. He agrees to pay their Wi-Fi bill. They agree to allow his hotspot to be plugged in, whether it's an outdoor or indoor. If it's an outdoor hotspot on a business, obviously he sets it up on top of the building. He has to go through all that where he angles, the device to reach to the area that he's trying to position it to disperse signal. And again, if you're connected to the Helium network, your data is unlimited. The 30 gigs doesn't apply to you because you're connected to the Helium network. It's one of those things. If you're connected to T-Mobile's network, your threshold is 30 gigs of high-speed data. After 30 gigs, you're slowed down to 1 megabit per second by 1 megabit per second, from 30 gigs to 40 gigs. When you pass 40 gigs, you're slowed to 512 kilobits per second. That's how their throttling works. It's not like most other, MVNOs or MNOs where, you're throttled at 512 kilobits per second or 256 kilobits per second exactly at 30 gigs. Helium gives you a little bit of leeway. Like, yeah, you're not streaming 4K movies after 30 gigs, but you're still able to watch YouTube videos with better clarity on it. You're still able to do your social media, emails, and all that other good stuff. You're still able to, do what you need to do on your device. So, but if you are connected to the Helium network, it is unlimited because you're not using T-Mobile's network. You're not using the MNO's data connection. You're using a home internet connection that's plugged in with the Ethernet line, plugged in to a device, outdoor or indoor, that's dispersing that data connection. So this is where it could become lucrative and you can make a business out of it and start making some additional money. So like I said in the beginning of the podcast, Berganta basically talked about that Helium was a scam to him. And for people to kind of understand what he means by that is he used my promo code. He signed up for Helium Mobile. He's trying them out for a month free. He was upset in the fact that when he first signed up, there was a hold on the $20. Okay, so when you first sign up, they're gonna put a hold on your account. There is a difference between a hold and a charge. If you don't know banking, there's a difference. When I go to the gas pump and I use my debit card, it holds $75. So it will put a hold on $75 as a pending transaction, allowing me to pump my gas. Now, whatever I pump, if I pump 30, 40, or 50 bucks, or even 60 bucks, it will, it will change right when the transaction is done. Maybe about 20, 30 minutes later, the hold is taken off to $75 and the actual amount of gas that I used was charged and the rest of it is still in my bank because it hasn't left my bank. A hold didn't charge it. The transaction didn't transfer from one account to another. My 75 bucks is still in my bank account. It's just held. If all I had was $76 in my bank and I, put gas in my car and it held 75, if I tried to go buy me something for $5, it wouldn't go through because that 75 is held. So that's a hold. A charge is where they charge your bank account set amount of money and that money has left your bank account and has gone into theirs. That's a charge. Why does Helium Mobile do a hold? Well, in the very beginning when I had my my promo code built for me and I started offering out where you could sign up and get 1 month free, are a lot of people that abused it. There were people that used it, created an account, used it for a month. They canceled it. They canceled it and then created a whole new account using my promo code and getting a month free. So they were really, really they were the ones scamming Helium. They were literally taking advantage of my promo code and others. There are other people that have promo codes that give you a month free. I'm not the only one. But they were doing it to them too. So Helium had to change things. It had to be fair. So they started doing a hold on people's cards to make sure that, obviously your card was active and being able to be used to charge for future phone bills. On top of that, they required, an identity check. Some people didn't like that because they're like, I don't want to put my identity in. I don't need them to verify me. And that's totally fine. You don't want to be verified. You don't have to try it out. There's other prepaid companies that you may not, need identity verification. The reason why Helium is doing an identity verification is because it is phone service. It delves in crypto financing. And they want to make sure that you haven't used a free promo code recently. They're trying to stop that. It's almost the same like how MobileX charges a fee when you get a new number. If you sign up for MobileX, whether you're going to try them out for their 10-day trial or you're going to go on their unlimited plans or you're going to go with their personalized access plan, there is I think it's $1.98 charge that you're going to take if you get a new number from MobileX. If you port your number over, that fee is waived. Why does MobileX have that fee? Well, before they instituted that fee, people were signing up for Mobile X to get a mobile phone number so they can use that mobile phone number and port to another prepaid or postpaid carrier with a ported deal, right? So if Verizon was giving away a free iPhone 16 Pro Max for joining up on, you know, their most expensive monthly plan and porting your number over, then people would go over to Mobile X and get a phone number for them, not even stay with Mobile X, and immediately after, you know, a week, go into Verizon and try to get that promotional deal for porting. So Mobile X had to put a stop to it, right? There are people that abuse these things, and these companies have to find ways to stop it. That way everyone gets a fair chance at it. So with Helium, they do an identity verification, and they put a $20 hold when you first use my promo code. Looks like I lagged there first. Sorry if I lagged, but like I was saying, they put a hold just to make sure that your card is valid and able to be used, and they do an identity verification check to make sure you are who you say you are, because there is money involved. Some people that don't care about the crypto side of it and are only on Helium Mobile because it's a $20 a month phone service, just because you're not invested in crypto doesn't mean that you get to negate the rules and bend the rules to you. Okay, it's got to be overall. And for someone who suggested, well, they should have two different plans, one that you earn crypto on and one that's just a regular phone service plan, to me that's just pretty stupid. Like, they don't have to build two plans, create multiple different stock codes for a system to read just to have these plans viable, when you can just have one plan. And if the person's not interested in crypto, they don't turn on mapping, they don't do anything with their account as far as crypto wise, and all they do is just pay their monthly phone service and use their phone service. No, that's just the easy way. No reason to build multiple plans. Now, Helium is not for everybody. It's really not. I would say for Braganza, it's not. You know, he's upset that, you know, once a week on the Helium app, you're able to claim your rewards for free. You get one free claim a week every 7 days, and you can claim the rewards that you earn from mapping and have it moved over to your Helium wallet. He tried doing that recently. There was a glitch. I told him to get in contact with customer service, see if maybe, you know, they can look into the glitch, get the transaction reference number, and be able to see that, you know, what caused the glitch, and then maybe they could, you know, give him some SOL to pay for the transaction fee, since the free claim is gone for that week. He's very upset about that. He feels it's a scam because they told him, you know, that even though the system glitched and his rewards didn't transfer to his wallet, but the free claim was considered used, that in order for him to claim it now, he has to use a little bit of SOL or Solana. He has to use a little bit of Solana to pay that fee to transfer it. The total comes out to like maybe like 15 to like 20 cents is what the fee is. I suggested for him to just wait until the next week when it's free, because I'll tell you this, in 1 week, you're not earning enough to pay your entire phone bill in 1 week. You're not. It usually takes me about 2 weeks of mapping without missing a day in order to earn enough to pay my bill. So like the next free claim that I have, which is in 3 days, is going to give me enough Helium tokens to prepay my bill. So in 3 days, I'm going to have a video drop showing people how to prepay your Helium Mobile bill with the earned rewards that you got from mapping. So I'll be doing a video about that. So, you know, but, you know, to Braganza, you know, he's very upset about it, and every right to be, right? Things should work the way they're supposed to work. You know, I'm not here to judge whether people are biased or not. I don't care if people are biased. I don't care if you're a Verizon fanboy and that's all you love. I don't care if you're a T-Mobile fanboy. I don't care what you love. What you love is what you love, and that's your business. And as long as it works out good for you, that's great. So, no, I'm not here to pitch this idea so he stays with Helium. No, he take his number and go where he wants to go. You know what I mean? I appreciate him for giving it a try. And I appreciate him for using my promo code to try it out. But I don't I don't need him to stay on it. He can go if he wants to go, because overall, when it comes to all of you, what you guys use and what makes you happy is what matters to me most. I only show you guys things that I use and things that I find interesting that you guys may find interesting or beneficial to you, but that's your choice to either use what I'm sharing or not use it. There is no harm, no foul. I'm not that type of person. I'm not petty like that. I would never be petty like that. But before people call something a certain thing when it's not, I will clarify, clear things up. So is Helium Mobile a scam? No. Until they get busted by the FCC and the Department of Justice for something, they're not criminals. They're not scam artists. All right. They have a way of doing things. And you know what? When it comes to crypto, the fee that you would pay if you decided to try and do try to claim outside of your free claim, it's fairly cheap. Helium eats up most of the fees that comes with that. There's a lot of fees that goes on with crypto. I mean, that's what makes it so intimidating for people and so confusing. But if you take your time and you read, you try to understand. I watch other people's videos that are experts in crypto and listen to how they explain things. It has allowed me to kind of get like the basic fundamentals down of how all this works. And I'm still learning every day and still, trying to gain up more knowledge, because now that I have some of the fundamentals of how all this works, now I want to know how to, I know this sounds bad, but I want to know how to game it to get gains out of this, right? Like, I don't just want to just earn a little bit of passive income. Now I want to get more income because I need to put money aside for my daughter's college funds. I got bills that I want to just completely take care of. I got debt that I want to erase and get off my record. And if I could grow the crypto in a legal and fair way that will benefit me additional income, I want to take advantage of that. That's me. Everybody else is different, but that's me. So, yeah, I'm about to wrap things up a little bit here. There is links into the description with sites to pages that give a lot of information. If you're interested in Helium Mobile, including its crypto side, I encourage you to read those things to understand. All the HIPs or HIPs, read those to have an understanding how this is evolving, as it changes from little by little. I got a 5,000 reward. Nice. Awesome. And there's tons there is tons of YouTubers Oh, nice. That's not bad at all. 5,000 mobile rewarded to you. Now, when you transfer that transfers to HNT when it hits your Helium wallet, unless you use your own crypto wallet. But that's pretty awesome. But anyways, as I'm wrapping this up, there's links in the description. You could read those. In those different sites, there are hyperlinks to different topics that are centralized around that. I would say read those. There are YouTubers that dabble in Helium, as far as like not only just mapping and earning rewards, but also it's a reward. This happens with Helium, like with the hotspots, you were able to get the gold, the golden egg, right? Gigi, their mascot Goose, was giving out golden eggs to people with the hotspots. They were giving out golden eggs to those that had hotspots deployed, and I think the golden eggs were worth 10,000. So basically, the 5,000 is just because you were randomly selected to receive that reward. That's what it's for. That's one of the things about being a Helium Mobile customer, is that because of people using the services, they tend to just give out free rewards, honestly. Oh, you got Twitch? Okay, cool. Yeah. um, so yeah, just read those things. They're all in the description. The links to everything is in the description. You guys can read those pages. Um, some big change ups and everything like that. You guys may see less activity from me on X, and it's just really just kind of consolidating my time down to like one social platform. So I use Facebook, I use Instagram, I use Threads. So you'll find me more active on Threads, more active on Instagram, well, still active on Instagram as I am, less active on X. And to anyone who asked me, am I joining Blue Sky? I already joined Blue Sky. I have no intentions of being active on Blue Sky. All I did was put one post on my profile on Blue Sky, and literally that's just sharing my promo code for Helium Mobile. So I shared this on there, and that's it. That's all that's on there. Other than that, I'll be on Threads. That's just where I'm gonna mostly be at. X is a little bit more right winged. Blue Sky is a little bit more left, and I will not be on either side of that stuff. So I'm more on Threads. I'll pop in on X from time to time to see posts from people, but I'm not really that active anyways on X. Just so that people understand, dude. You're like connected to me on so many different platforms. You ain't missing shit, B-Tech. What the frick you mean you'll miss me? You're active with me on freaking Instagram with Mills, right? In the wrestling thread. I see what you guys post and what he shares in there and everything like that. Just Threads is totally fine. Like, I know people would be like, well, it's Meta, it's Mark Zuckerberg. Like, look, I don't give a shit. I don't talk political. I won't talk political. Don't give a shit to talk political, and that's just the way of it. So, man, whatever comes to mind. One thing I learned about live streaming and gaming while you live stream, I usually just talk about my day or whatever's in my head, like whatever is going on in my head, which it could be what I ate for lunch. It could be how my day's going. It could be something that's happening in my town. It could be about the game. I got to talk about the game and the gameplay. So if you're live streaming and gaming on a mobile device, talk about whatever you want. Sometimes the best content comes from within the heart, regardless of the numbers and views. I don't ever use the metrics of YouTube to say like if I'm a fun person or not. Everyone here on YouTube only knows about 10% of me and what goes on in my day-to-day life. I only allow you guys to see what I will allow you guys to see. There's a lot to my life that just stays with me because not everything about me needs to be on social media. And I can safely say I am not that popular that people give a shit about my life that way. I don't think people need to know how I drop a deuce and what type of toilet paper I'm using to wipe and which hand I wipe with or anything like that. It's none of people's business. But yeah, I would say best content comes from the heart, something that you're really passionate about, even if others don't feel that passionately about it. But you will find people that will like the things that you say and talk about. So you just have to be found. They just have to find you. So anyways, that's it for today's podcast. If you came in a little bit later, you guys can catch the replay from the beginning. Hashtag replay crew if you watch the replay. There is a video dropping later on today, kind of just showing the growth of Google Fi from when I've had them years ago with the iPhone 7 and the Pixel 3 to where it's at right now, where I'm using it, Google Fi on the Pixel 8a and the data-only SIM in my iPhone 12. So that video will be coming out later on this afternoon. And I think that's all I have for now. So, what I do if no one comes in to the stream to talk, just keep going. I'll share this with you, okay? I'll share this with you, Nien. So here's the thing. One of my very first live streams I ever did back in 2014, I streamed for 4 hours. I had nobody in my stream for the first 3 hours and 15 minutes. It wasn't for the last 45 minutes that 5 people joined, were listening to what I was saying, and decided to stay until I ended that broadcast. And I had to end that broadcast because my throat was burning. I had talked so much that I was losing my voice, which is why I only do 1 hour streams. For those of you guys who don't know, I lose my voice very easily for talking for such a long time that my throat starts to hurt. So I only do 1 hour podcasts. Sometimes I'll do 2 hours, but trust me, like when me and B-Tech do like a 2 hour live stream, I'm hurting. Like my throat is already like giving me problems where I want to stop. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I've done. And I just continue to stream, live stream, and people will come. People will see it. I share my live streams on social platforms. I don't care if people come and they make fun of me or whatever, you know, like it comes with the territory. Some people are mature, some people are fun, and then there's some people who are idiots. You got to accept all of them, the good and the bad. I've had people come in and make fun of me. It's totally fine. You know. Anyways, I'm sick and tired of my PC this way. Now I got to work on my PC now and get things up to date so that way your podcast live streams will be much better without glitching, lagging, and audio cutouts, because it's just annoying me. Thank you guys for withstanding all the bullshit with this live stream. And I'm going to get to work now on the PC. I'll talk to you later. You guys stay cool, stay blessed. Granta, don't take offense to this. Don't get mad at me. I use it as an example because you did inspire me for today's topic.